A cougar and her God-fearing young firefighter. Bonded in love, partnered in crime. Or so thought the Kern County Sheriff's Department. Detectives were forced to kick Sabrina loose, but put the screws to her forbidden lover, Jonathan.
We spoke on several different occasions for several hours.
Jonathan Hearn fully expected to spend his last dying days behind bars, and he knew there was only one thing he could do to change that. He had to turn on his beloved Sabrina Limon. And for Jonathan, nothing says I love you like throwing your girlfriend under the bus.
He provided the details of their planning and preparing. He allowed us access to his cell phone.
And then a move that would afford the young evangelical some mercy.
I offer him my broken-hearted and genuine apology.
Jonathan struck a plea deal.
What he pled for is 25 years and 4 months in prison in exchange for that testimony against Sabrina.
I was shocked. They were intent on making sure that she took the blame for this. He is calculating. He's not naive.
Interrogating Sabrina was like trying to crack ice with a feather.
That's unbelievable to me. Like, I seriously feel like there's no way that he'd be capable of that.
Jonathan's going to tell me that you started all this and you talked him into it.
Well, that wouldn't be true.
Robert is dead because of you. Make no mistakes about that. That is something that you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life. It's time to get off the pot. If you don't have anything for us, I think we need to get you to jail. You're under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder.
3 years after the fatal shooting of her husband, Sabrina's case goes before a mostly female jury.
Good morning, everyone.
The star witness.
We do have Mr. Hearn still on the stand.
And once the floodgates opened, an astonishing, calculating, cold-blooded, made-for-TV plot would emerge.
She asked me how I thought would be best, and we discussed car accident and fire, and quickly skipped over those and arrived at poisoning.
Their choice of poison? Pudding, laced with arsenic. Crime scene photos show bottles of arsenic found in Jonathan's trash.
I experimented with that on a neighbor dog who had caused me considerable issues in the past, and put it on some meat.
The dog never bothered Jonathan again. Sabrina then put some of the tainted pudding in Robert's lunch and sent him off to work. But the lovers chickened out at the last minute.
She called Robert. She had told him to not eat the pudding because I think she said that she told him the bananas had gone bad in it.
Sabrina still insisted Robert die on the job at the railroad because the medical care in the area was substandard. But perhaps there was something else.
If Robert Limon was killed in the line of duty, that she would be also getting money from BNSF.
Not to mention the $300,000 life insurance payout Sabrina stood to collect.
You searched for how long for a life insurance policy to pay out. Is that correct?
It appears to be, yes.
The question that comes up in every spousal murder, wouldn't divorce be so much more simple?
Divorce was not something very appealing to her as an option. She expressed that he would honestly rather be dead than divorced. Losing her would essentially kill him. I had a frank disgust for him that was developing and contributing to me being very dismissive of his life, ultimately.
Jonathan proved his disdain for Robert. The night he disguised himself, got on his motorcycle, drove 85 miles, then ambushed an unwitting Robert Limon.
After you fired the first shot, what happened to Robert?
He fell seemingly mortally wounded, and then headed up into the office to follow through with the previously discussed plan of overturning the interior of the office and making it look like a robbery. I really didn't want to leave him if he wasn't entirely dead, so I went back around the backside of the truck and quickly fired one more shot at him.
The public servant turned public enemy had killed a man, and in a call to Sabrina after the fact, appears convinced he was guided by a higher power.
He's working through me to the street. He got there all the way. He hasn't got there all the way. He knows what he's doing, and he knows the work that he's doing.
When it came time for Sabrina to take the stand,
Well, I was protecting my image.
she tried to explain why she lied to cops.
I didn't want to put my affair into a murder investigation. I never wanted to believe that Jonathan was the one that did this.
Prosecutors reminded Sabrina of a certain significant prayer she and Jonathan shared after Robert's murder.
Deliver me from the guilt of bloodshed, O God, you who are my God, my Savior. When you read that verse, what did you think?
What my memory recalls, I remember Jonathan reading that Psalms 51 to me, and I don't think I was following along. I was distracted.
And when cops asked Sabrina if she knew of a man with a motorcycle possibly named John, she gave them the names of 2 other Johns who were acquaintances of her husband.
Sabrina suffers from ADD. She's not been on medication for it. She's not extremely articulate. In fact, she has difficulty in communicating her thoughts. She's a high school dropout.
So why let her testify? Because, insists her attorney, she's innocent.
Considering that Jonathan Hearn is a psychopathic killer, I would tend to believe Sabrina more than him.
But it only got worse for Sabrina's image when her formerly best friend, Kelly Bernatine, the friend with benefits, took the stand.
Are these wild sex orgies that you're going to the river to have?
No. It was usually Sabrina and I, and then we would go have sex with our husbands in the same room, but not together.
Kelly denied having a private affair with Rob, but blamed his murder on Sabrina.
Because she killed Rob.
She didn't kill anyone, did she?
I believe she did.
You believe she actually went and shot Rob?
No, I believe she told Jonathan to shoot Rob.
If Sabrina is convicted, she'll get more prison time than the man who pulled the trigger. 25 to life.
Whatever the jury decides, everyone present is to sit quietly and calmly.
It's Judgment Day in Kern County.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Sabrina Limon, guilty of a felony to wit, murder of Robert Limon as murder in the first degree. The crime was done with premeditation and deliberation.
There was no mercy for Sabrina Limon.
As to count 1, murder in the first degree, the term prescribed by law is 25 years to life. Then remanded to the Department of Corrections. We're adjourned.
The court is supposed to find somebody guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and I've never seen a case in where there's more reasonable doubt than this one.
Do you get any sense that she has any remorse for what transpired?
Not at this time.
Do you forgive him?
Not at this time. I can't yet.
A husband and father dead and gone. A wife and mother facing life in prison. A religious firefighter who sold his soul to the devil. And all for what?
You don't invite evil into your home like Sabrina invited Jonathan by bringing him in this relationship to destroy that family.
At Sabrina's sentencing, the Limon's children both wrote letters to the judge urging their mother be released with just probation. Her teenage son saying in part, "My mom is one of the best people I know. She's loving and loves God. She loved my dad and we do everything together. I need my mom in my life. I would do anything to get her home." For now, the two will continue living with Sabrina's sister. I'm Chris Hansen. If you like this story, make sure you tune in every day to Crime Watch Daily. You can find where the show airs in your city at crimewatchdaily.com. Watch it live or record it on your DVR and watch it at night. And to all those criminals out there, remember, we are watching.